Today's video, I'll be discussing disappearances that took place over the Christmas season. Case number 1. On the morning of December 23, 1974, a little before noon, Rachel, Renee, and Julie set out to go Christmas shopping. Rachel picked up Renee and Julie in her Oldsmobile 98 and headed towards Seminary South Shopping Center in Fort Worth, Texas. Along the way, the girls stopped at the Army-Navy surplus store to retrieve jeans Renee had placed on layaway. At some point in the early afternoon, the three girls made it up to the mall and parked in the upper level at the Sears parking lot. This is the last piece of evidence investigators have that the girls made it into the shopping center. The families grew worried when the girls did not return home by 4 p.m. Rachel's mom and brother went to the mall and found the locked Oldsmobile. Then the pair went to every store in the mall looking for the girls. She asked each store manager to page her daughter over the intercom system, but the girls did not respond. By this time in the evening, the other girls' families arrived too, and panic started to set in. The police are called and they quickly arrived at the mall. Several witnesses told the police they saw the girls shopping at the mall that day. A witness mentioned seeing Renee as she was wearing a Sweet Honesty t-shirt. After the investigation, the police stated that they believed the girls returned to the car that afternoon. However, no receipts or packages were found in the car except for the jeans that Renee had purchased at the Army-Navy surplus store. The police also believed the girls all ran away, which the family denied. The following day, Christmas Eve 1974, the early morning edition of the Star-Telegram covered the story of the missing girls and indicated that the police had no reason to suspect foul play, but added that none of the girls had even been reported as a runaway, and that the parents of all three said disappearing was unlike any of them. While the whole town was learning about the case in their morning while drinking their coffee, Rachel's husband received a strange note in the mail. That same day, Rachel's husband Tommy found a postmarked letter in his mailbox. The letter had many strange elements and continues to baffle many about whether or not Rachel actually wrote it. In the upper left corner of the letter envelope, the name Rachel was scrawled in a pencil. The stamp on the envelope had been canceled that morning. The cancellation did not include a city or a zip code. Investigators interpreted the 5-digit number to indicate that the letter had been mailed either from Throckmorton or Weatherford, Texas. Inside the envelope was a sheet of paper with the message written in a ballpoint ink pen. "I know I'm going to catch it, but we just gotta get away. We are going to Houston. See you in about a week. The car is in the Sears upper lot. Love, Rachel." The Christmas Day evening edition of Star-Telegram printed an article with a headline that read "Missing Girls Letter Discounted by Police." Rachel's parents and Tommy questioned the letter, saying that they did not believe it was Rachel's handwriting. 50 years later, and the case remains unsolved. Now I will give a description on the three missing girls. Mary Rachel Trlica was 17 at the age of her disappearance. She is known to go by her middle name Rachel. Caucasian female, 5'6", 108 pounds, long brown hair and green eyes. She was a married high school student at Southwest High School in Fort Worth, Texas. She drove a 1972 Oldsmobile 98. Lisa Renee Wilson was at the age of 14 at the time of her disappearance. Caucasian female, 5'2", 110 pounds, light wavy brown hair and brown eyes. The youngest of the girls, Julie Ann Mosley, was 9 at the age of her disappearance. She is a Caucasian female, 4'3", 85 pounds, with shady blonde hair and blue eyes. If you have any information about this case, please contact Fort Worth Police Department at 817-335-4222. Next case, Trevor Deely. On December 8, 2000, Trevor Deely, a 22-year-old Irishman, disappeared in Dublin. He had been walking home around 4 a.m. from his work Christmas party, having stopped at his office on the way to retrieve an umbrella and to arrange certain things for his shift the next day at work. He was seen on a security camera entering and leaving his office building. The footage shows him speaking to a man dressed in all black before entering the building. The man has never been identified. Trevor was last seen on security camera in front of a bank he passed on Haddington Road as he headed home on foot. which is the last image that exists of him. Despite continuous police investigations, his disappearance remains a mystery and unsolved. Now I will give background information on Trevor Deely. Born August 15, 1978, disappeared on December 8, 2000, age 22, last known location, Dublin, Ireland, Caucasian male, 6'2", red/blonde hair, green eyes, thin build. His clothing, yellow and brown shirt, beige cord trousers, belongings, a blue umbrella, and a Nokia phone. If you have any information about this case, please contact Dublin, Ireland Police Department at 353-1666-8000. Now for the last case of the video. Janelle Matthews was a 12-year-old girl who disappeared from Green Lake, Colorado on December 20, 1984. On the evening of December 20, 1984, Janelle was performing in a Christmas concert in Intro-West Bank of Denver as a member of Greeley's Franklin Middle School Choir. Her father was at her sister's basketball game and her mother was temporarily out of state caring for an ill family member. After getting a ride home with her friend Deanna and Deanna's father, Janelle arrived at her house approximately at 8:15 p.m. Janelle's father arrived home at 9:30 p.m. and found the garage door open, but no one was in the house. Janelle's shoes and saw were near a heater in the family room, a place she often sat. Janelle's older sister Jennifer arrived home at 10 p.m. but had not seen her. Their father began to worry and called the police. The police arrived at 10:15 p.m. and found footprints in the snow indicating that someone has been looking in the windows. There was no sign of a struggle or forced entry with the snow on the ground. Jim Matthews thought it was unlikely his daughter would go far without wearing her shoes. For several weeks after the disappearance, law enforcement placed Matthews' birth mother, Terry Vera Martinez, under surveillance, without telling her that Matthews was missing. In 1994, a decade after her disappearance, Joelle Matthews was declared legally dead. In 1997, Gloria Matthews received a letter from Vera requesting permission to visit. Vera had used a search consultant to help locate the child she had given up for adoption. The Matthews family notified Vera about what happened, about Janelle's disappearance. Years after Janelle Matthews' disappearance, her parents moved to the Philippines as missionaries. Later relocating after retirement to Costa Rica, Matthews' sister married and moved out of Colorado. Janelle Matthews' remains were discovered on July 24, 2019 by construction workers putting in a new pipeline. Sadly, Janelle Matthews' remains were found July 24, 2019 by construction workers putting in a new pipeline 50 miles away from her home. Stephen Pankey was sentenced to life imprisonment on October 31, 2022 after his arrest and trial for Janelle Matthews' murder. Now I will give background information on Janelle Matthews. Born February 9, 1972, disappeared December 20, 1984, age 12. Body was discovered on July 24, 2019.